Hi everyone, so awesome to see you guys again. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the peppermint oil. Sorry, that's my little baby in the background deciding she needs to do some talking. We'll see, she might get a little bit loud. So, I hope you've all got your bottles of peppermint there with you, or your little sample bottles. If you haven't seen the big bottle from doTERRA Peppermint, this is what it looks like. The peppermint oil is again one of my favourite oils, and I do use it a lot. If you take the cap off, try not to touch the top of the peppermint. Some of the oils are a little bit what we call like hot oils, which means that they can be a little bit intense on your skin. So particularly if you've got sensitive skin, you don't want to just be touching it straight. It can be a little bit strong, and it's not something that you want to get your fingers on and then put your fingers in your eyes or on your lips and things like that, just like with chili. So the peppermint is one of those oils, so try not to get it on your fingers and then rub your eye or something. It's not very nice. I did do it the other day and it was quite exhilarating, and I did feel very energized afterwards, but it's not the nicest thing. So we're going to grab our peppermint and we'll just put your nose above it and have a really long, slow, deep breath, breathing that peppermint right down deep into your lungs. And I'm sure you'll find with that peppermint oil, like I've just felt, that it feels very, very clearing. For me, I feel like it's cleaning out all those channels through my body, inhaling it through my nose, all through my lungs and my throat. I find it very uplifting. So if I'm a little bit tired, I will have the peppermint oil around and I'll just have a little sniff of it if I've got it in my bag. And I find that particularly if I'm driving or something like that and I'm going to do a long drive and I'm feeling a bit tired, I'll just have my peppermint out, give it a really good smell, and it'll help really uplift me. I know a lot of people use the peppermint who are having problems with like sinus, coughing, any respiratory things going on. You can pop the peppermint in the diffuser and you'll spread it throughout the room. It can really be beneficial for people with helping with breathing and clearing out the environment. I've used the peppermint a lot too when I've had like any kind of like cold flu type symptoms and I'm feeling really congested through the sinus in the face, and I'll just have it around and just be breathing it in regularly as well as in the diffuser. And I will, one of the other uses I have for the peppermint, which I really, really love, is having it in one of the little 10 ml roller bottles. So it's just 10 mils of the fractionated coconut oil, and then I'll have about 5 drops of peppermint, and then about, you could probably even go 2 drops of peppermint. It's pretty strong, you don't need a lot, but 2 to 5 drops of peppermint, 5 drops of lavender, and maybe 3 drops of frankincense. And that is what I use if I'm ever getting like a bit of tension, a bit of tightness up through the neck and through my head and face, if I'm getting a little bit headachy. And I find that for me, like really powerful at relieving that. So I'll just have that in my bag and I'll just like roll it on my temples a little bit, on the back of my neck. For me, I tend to get a lot of headaches related to tension and tightness through the jaw and the back of the neck. So I'll just have that and I'll give it a little roll around that way. Also, like my main use for the peppermint is one of actually using it a lot in cooking. So the difference with the doTERRA oils is that because they're certified therapeutic grade, so it's a standard that's been set by doTERRA, that they're hoping other companies will come on board with this standard, but at the moment I don't think anyone else has really taken it up. They've got very high standards. So all of the oils are third-party testing for purity. So the source that they're coming from, they have to each time match. Every batch is tested of oil. So it's not just the initial batch of oil that comes through. Every batch that's coming through is being tested to meet these requirements in terms of being completely pure. So absolutely no synthetic compounds. All the plants are grown completely organically, and they also test all of the different volatile compounds to make sure the ratios are consistent, so they're always getting the same quality of oil, so we can use them for our health and medicinally. And the cool thing with that is it also means that this makes the doTERRA essential oils safe for ingesting. So I was never ever comfortable ingesting any essential oils before I came across the doTERRA ones, and now I just am happy to use them in so many areas of my life. So the peppermint is one of those oils that I do use a lot. So I've got a really awesome recipe. I will attach it. I'll send it through with this video. I'll put a link for it so you can access it. Just for making a chopped peppermint bliss ball. So in this batch, you're going to get like sort of, depending how big they are, but like 10 to 15 or 20 bliss balls, and you're really only putting 3 drops of the peppermint oil in. 3 drops. That's all you need for a big batch of that. So it shows you how strong the peppermint is. It's said that 1 drop of peppermint, doTERRA peppermint essential oil is equivalent to, I think, 27 tea bags of peppermint tea. So it is very, very powerful, very strong. You can use it in tea, but you basically want to dip like the end of a toothpick in there and put that in the water because it's a little bit intense. Otherwise, it will really clear you out, but you don't really need to use very much. A lot of people who do lots of like raw vegan slices and those sort of things, they generally use the doTERRA peppermint essential oil because of the purity of it, and everyone knows that it's safe to ingest and super amazing. You can also, if you want to, pop a drop in your water bottle for the day. You want to be using a glass or a metal water bottle. The plastic bottles, the essential oils will draw petrochemicals out of the plastic bottles and put in the water, which is pretty amazing at looking at then what the oils can be helping us to remove toxic substances from our body, but we don't want to be drinking that from a water bottle. So you can pop it in there and just have that as like a daily drink. A lot of people use that if they're feeling like they're wanting to sort of cleanse their system a little bit. It's very uplifting. You can also do this with the citrus oils as well. So yeah, peppermint's one of my favorites. Even on a hot day, you can get a spray bottle, fill it with water, add a couple of drops of peppermint oil, and just mist yourself with it, and it's really, really cooling on the skin. Don't put it in the bath. I've done that once, and it's a really weird sensation. You just end up feeling sort of hot and cold at the same time. I mean, it's a bit interesting, but it's not the most desirable sensation. Yeah, so that's some of the main uses I have for the peppermint. Cooking, uplifting, sinusy stuff, really clearing. It's a really beautiful clearing oil and quite elevating. So it's one that I use as well if I feel like I need a bit of a kick up the butt to get things going. I'll get the peppermint out, have a breathe of it in, and maybe even apply some diluted to my skin. But you definitely want to dilute the peppermint oil down. So that's our friend peppermint oil. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.